Religious trauma is so much more than just the fear of hell. It can develop and manifest out of a negative self-view and worldview because of what the Bible teaches and what Christianity teaches. I have a 10-episode series on religious trauma on my channel where I get into a lot more depth about the scripture passages and Bible stories that created religious trauma for me. But the point here is that scripture itself can develop in people a negative self-image, and that negative self-image can lead to anxiety, depression, panic attacks, fear, and then those things open the door wide for religious trauma. One example of this is in the question, can you lose your salvation if you're a Christian? And some Christians will say, yes, you can. The Bible supports that. And some will say, no, you cannot. And the Bible also supports that. But if you're a Christian and you're struggling with the question of, can I lose my salvation? That can and does build up anxiety and lead to religious trauma. And so the other example I think about is Job. Here we have God brokering deals with Satan and allowing Satan to strip Job of just about everything, to kill his wife, his family, his kids, his livestock, his workers, and then afflict Job with painful sores and boils all over his body, only to prove what God already knew before all of this, and that Job was a faithful and righteous man. So the story of Job teaches us how to catastrophize. And what do I mean by that? The psychology literature defines catastrophizing as expecting a catastrophic or traumatic event around every corner, even when there's not evidence to suggest that that's reality. But it causes in you, catastrophizing causes in you this perpetual fight or flight mode. And when you've been sexually abused as a child, or you've suffered from some other kind of adverse childhood experience, then you're predisposed already to potentially think the worst and to live in that perpetual fight or flight mode. And then when you hand somebody a Bible and they read the story of Job, for example, that only ramps up their anxiety and depression and fear and that catastrophizing that we were talking about. So if you want to dig into this more, understand what religious trauma is, and whom it develops and why it develops and what we can do about it if it develops in somebody, head on over to my 10-episode series and comment, like, subscribe. This is a new channel. I'm trying to get the word out there about religious trauma. Your engagement with this content is going to help that. So if this content is resonating with you and you want to help to have a national conversation about this, then let's get it going together. I appreciate everything. Thank you.